Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. And you know, when I travel the world, I have my pick from all the different... Nah, I can't do that. But it's true. When I did get to go travel to one part of the world, to Barcelona for Mobile World Congress, I did think, well, what phone do I want to take with me? I am kind of lucky in that I have a choice of, phones to use, because this is what I do for a living, and so I have access to the different phones that are on the market. And I've been using an iPhone lately, once again, as my own personal phone. But for this trip, I thought, I'm going to be on the go, and most of my working life, I'm usually in one spot and I'm at the computer. But when I go to these trade shows, I'm not on the computer and I'm running around all day, and there's press releases and breaking news, and I'm IMing and Twittering with, colleagues and with the folks back at the Phone Dog office, and then I'm trying to post stuff and answer emails. So I wanted to have a device that had an actual keyboard on it, and also it was a chance just to kind of, leave the iPhone and try something else for a little while. So I decided to go with the T-Mobile BlackBerry 8900. New phone. I thought about the Bold for a little while, but the 8900 was newer. I'd gotten it and reviewed it, but wanted to spend a little more time with it. Really liked the form factor, and just thought, let's give it a shot. Let's go with the 8900. So I did, and so by virtue of having getting to spend a week with it solid on the road in Spain, I really got to put it through its paces a little bit more. When I do these reviews, what usually happens is the phone comes in, I try to do an unboxing video as quickly as possible so that you all can see what the phone comes with, see what it looks like, get a first impression as quickly as possible. And then I test the phone out, and basically, especially if it's a popular phone, especially if it's a phone that isn't available on the market yet, I try to do my first review as quickly as I can while still really doing a solid review and using the phone for long enough to really have an opinion about it. But what generally happens is, what you can find out about using a device for a couple of days or even a week is very different than what you find out having the phone, owning it, using it day in, day out for the course of a couple weeks, a month, months on end. So, I had the 8900, spent the better part of a week with it at the beginning, and then, I'm still going back to it once in a while I'm testing out different new phones that come in, but then coming back to it, taking it with me for a week, and not just a normal week, but a trade show week where I just hammered on the thing day in, day out. And not only that, but using it, in a foreign country where I'm not used to, and I'm using the GPS and the maps and Google and all that stuff a lot, really let me know what the phone was about. And I'll tell you, I don't think that I personally am going to switch to BlackBerry right now, but if I was, this would be near the top of my list. This is a great device. I really enjoyed using it. The big thing with it is you don't have 3G. And that's kind of a big trade-off as opposed to, if you're considering a phone like the Bold. The Bold is larger, it's a little bit less pocketable. It actually has a lower res display than the 8900, even though the Bold is physically a bigger display. But, it has a little bit bigger keyboard. The keyboard is maybe a little bit more comfortable to type on, but you get 3G. On the 8900, you don't get 3G. You get Wi-Fi, but otherwise it's Edge. But I was actually using this when I was in Spain. I was using it a lot of the time on, not even on Edge, but on GPRS, and it was fine. I mean, the web browsing is a little slower that way, but for the email, for the messaging, it's totally fine. The phone crashed hard on me once, and then a second time it was really odd. I all of a sudden lost Wi-Fi. I could still connect to cellular data, but I couldn't get any Wi-Fi. And so then I had to pull the battery out, put the battery back in, do the hard reboot that takes a couple minutes. But then it was fine. So in general, the phone performed fine. The push email, I mean, if you use BlackBerry, that's what it's all about, is the push email is just terrific. The form factor is excellent. It's pocketable. We'll do the pocket test here. Phone, it really slips into jeans pockets, really well. It's not that bulky, a little bit thicker than like an iPhone or whatever, but really not that bad at all. The new styling on it, I really like the black and silver. It's a little sexier, a little more kind of high-tech looking than the Curve was, I think. A little sexier. It's got the plastic, but it looks like brushed metal on the back. This is the phone you're going to see lots of consumers using in the next year. It's the new Curve. It's got the headphone jack built in, so I was able to use it as an MP3 player when I was on the go. I'm not big on Bluetooth myself. I like to use the wired headset, so I have a wired headset. It's stereo, has an inline mic. Work great with this. The trackball is really nice, I think, for scrolling around. I think, touchscreens are really fun, but if you have a good trackball, you kind of, I mean, it's not maybe as fun as a touchscreen, but for web browsing and stuff, it actually lets you get to things more accurately, and it's really easy to use. You know, worked well. The new 8900, much better web browser as compared to the old Curve. Call quality was generally really solid, and you know, what can I say? It's a workhorse. The keyboard, I definitely liked having an actual keyboard as opposed to a virtual keyboard when I was, again, using this thing day in, day out as my primary communication device. Really, I was only getting on my laptop when I was editing video and posting things to the website, but during the day, this was it. Phone calls, lots of emails, quick web searches, reading other blogs to catch up on news going on at the show. You know, again, it doesn't have 3G. Aside from that, you know, T-Mobile offers pretty good value. This isn't a review of T-Mobile's service, but you know, when you're comparing versus other BlackBerries, the 8900, good form factor, and T-Mobile's got pretty good value on their services. UMA calling, which definitely helps with the reception and the signal quality. If you're somewhere where the reception isn't so good, you route your calls over Wi-Fi, that helps. You know, my faves, all that stuff. 3.2 megapixel camera with a flash. It's a cell phone camera. It's not amazing, but I was able to use it to get pictures of things on the street. If you go to my Facebook page over Noah Kravitz on Facebook, you can see I posted a little photo gallery from just random photos I took. A lot of those were taken with this, in fact, so you can see the photo quality there. Maybe we'll move those over. We have a Phone Dog Facebook page. You can go over, you can become a fan. Maybe we'll get the gallery moved over there so you can stay updated that way. But what can I say? I definitely am a fan of the 8900. A 3G version would be even better, but as it is now, it's a solid choice, and really, you know, the new operating system definitely helps. The new browser is the biggest upgrade, but I was able to tweet on it, IM, all that stuff. There you go. So long-term road test, definitely a thumbs up for the T-Mobile BlackBerry 8900, the new Curve, the Curve 2, if you want to call it that. They're just calling it the Curve. Really solid device, really enjoyed it. There you go. If you're in Spain, I recommend it. What can I say? There you go. It's a long-term road test. We'll have to do more of these because after you spend a while with the device, you really, you really get to know it a little bit better. Maybe we'll do a dogfight also between this and the G1 because those are kind of the two T-Mobile heavy hitters right now. Interesting comparison between the two. You know, so that would be a worthwhile thing as well. All right. Much, much more on all the BlackBerries, all the T-Mobile phones, all the new stuff. And speaking of trade shows, get ready, CTIA is coming starting March 31st. I'll be there out in Vegas, live from the desert, with everything new coming out in the American market. All right? It's all for you on PhoneDog.com. Until next time, I'm Noah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.